The imperialists have sacrificed the American people for their death cult. Thousands of young American men and women have died for so-called freedom in Iraq and Afghanistan. But where is that freedom they're talking about? Is it the freedom to come back from a horrible war with PTSD and to be greeted with indifference by the government? Is it the freedom to be unemployed? Is it the freedom to let yourself die because you can't afford health care? Is it the freedom to live on the street in the richest country in the world? Is it the freedom to be a tweaking drug addict? Is it the freedom for little girls from dirt poor families to sell their bodies to vile predators because they're too poor and too traumatized to do anything else? A system that breeds such misery has no right to call itself democratic. It has no right to pretend to be free. While there is still one man who fears for his housing, for his employment, for his health care, freedom is a meaningless word. The freedom to live a decent life, to pursue happiness, in the words of Jefferson, can only be obtained when every man and woman in this country and all over the world have their basic needs met. But NATO, the guard dog of the Yankee and European ruling class, is going to do everything in its power to keep that from happening. They will bomb, destroy, execute any country or anyone who stands in the way of imperialist expansion, which is dearly needed by the ruling class to keep the system going. And they will send your children as cannon fodder to do the dirty work and to die away from their homeland, from their family, for the interest of a privileged few. They will tell you the enemy is in Russia, they will tell you the enemy is in China, they will tell you the enemy is in North Korea. Does Russia have a military base all around the USA? Is China bombing away an entire people in Palestine? Has North Korea ever invaded or attacked any country? The ruling class is lying to you. They're maintaining you in a false solidarity with them, talking about freedom, defending freedom while stealing it from you, along with your billions of tax dollars to fund Ukrainian neo-Nazis and the genocide of Palestinian civilians. They don't want you to unite with the common man of the rest of the world. They don't want you to realize that you and he have the same interest to be at peace and to collaborate. They want you to hate the Russian man. They want you to hate the Chinese man. They want you to hate the Korean man. They spread their lies about the peoples of the world to keep you ignorant. Their bogus nationalism, which is a thin veil hiding globalist imperialism, stands in the way of true patriotism. Liberation of the American working class, it stands in the way of the liberation of humanity itself. We down with NATO!
Down with NATO!
Down with NATO!
Down with NATO!
Free, free Palestine!
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 Funding our departments. We are defunding our schools. We are breaking apart strikes. The labor unions in America don't even support strikes anymore. They just support the Democratic Party. They lie in their pockets just as much as they lie in their own. The Democratic Party is a bunch of shills. The Republican Party is a bunch of shills. They're all a bunch of shills. Joe Biden is a loser. And you know what? He's so much of a loser that he's taken all of our money and sending it across the sea to Europe. Money that is going straight towards the European colonists we fought against in 1776. Money that is going straight to the bankmen. Money that is going straight to the weapons contractors. Money that is going straight to people that we'll never even see. People in these high-rise buildings who look down on us in their nice air-conditioned offices. People who don't even care about us. People who don't even know what a people who don't even know what a worker is. Just imagine what a worker could be like. They look down on us every single day. They look down on us and they spit on us. They don't give us anything. They give us the crumbs off their table. We pay for the Israeli healthcare system. We pay for half of the Israeli government operation. We have nothing to provide for our own citizens though, right? We let our homeless people starve in the streets. We let our homeless people die. We let our own people suffer every single day in the inner city. We let our own people suffer every day in the rural America. You know what? We don't need that, do we? What we need are more foreign wars. We need wars in Ukraine. We need wars in Japan. We need wars in Israel. You know what? I don't call it Israel. I call it Palestine. Because I can see the people who are suffering there. And those people don't look like white European Jews who came over. They look like brown, cold, brown people who are fighting for their liberation. Hamas is a liberation organization run by the Palestinians against the occupying forces of the IDF. They are resisting because they know that the fascist Israelis will come down and kill them. And you know who we're funding? We're funding Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu himself. We're funding Mr. Bibi. If you heard Bibi speak, he sounds just like an American, because he is. Because they're all Americans, they're all Europeans, and they're all going to Israel because they know that they can exploit the brown people who would have nowhere to go. They're put in an open-air prison, and in this open-air prison, they're using it like a sandbox for all the U.S.'s weapons. HIMARS, drones, planes, whatever. They're using it as a testing ground for their war equipment. The war equipment that they're sending that to Ukraine, to kill Russian soldiers, to kill Ukrainian soldiers. All of it is for nothing but war, death, and conquest. The United States was built on nothing but liberty, but now it has developed into nothing but conquest. We have conquested into the Indo-Pacific. We have conquered into Asia. We have conquered into Europe. The entirety of NATO is just a U.S. colony, and we're here to break it apart. Because the U.S. is an anti-colonial regime. The U.S. should be an anti-imperialist regime. A regime for the American people, not a regime for the bureaucrats and for the elites and for the men who line their own pockets with our hard-earned workers' money. No, folks. But you know what? Sleepy Joe up there is going to tell you otherwise. Sleepy Joe is going to say that this is a war of necessity. Sleepy Joe says that if Putin conquers Ukraine, he'll conquer the rest of Europe. Okay. Let Russia conquer Europe. I'm sure the Europeans will figure it out. I'm sure they will, because you know what they've done? They've dealt with it. Napoleon invaded. Where's Napoleon now? He's gone. Hitler tried it. Where's Hitler now? He's gone. Oh, Putin's gonna try it. If Putin tries it, he'll be gone too. They all go away, because you can't conquer Europe, and Putin's not gonna conquer Europe either. NATO is a useless organization that's gonna drag the United States into existential war. NATO is a useless organization that takes money away from us. NATO is a useless organization to defend the European continent when us Americans don't even live there. We don't even enjoy the benefits of NATO. All we do is pay for it. We keep paying for it. We'll pay for it and pay for it and pay for it until either we get into nuclear war with Russia and all of us are gone, or the U.S. kills itself. That's what's going to happen, folks. We're going to keep paying for it. And you know what? This money is not coming from these elite bankers. This money is not coming from Tesla. This money is not coming from Apple. This money is not coming from any of those people because they don't pay their taxes. This money is coming from you. This money is coming from you. And the more money they print, the more money, the lower the interest rate in the Federal Reserve, the more money and the more inflation you're going to see. Your bank accounts are going to drop. Your retirement plans are going to drop. You won't be able to retire. You'll retire at 80. You'll retire at 90. Half of you won't even live to see 60 because our healthcare system is so garbage. Half of you won't even live to see 70 because you won't even be concerned with living to 70. You're concerned with keeping your family going. Paycheck to paycheck, our Americans are starving. And the labor unions here in America are corrupt. They're taking our labor, they're taking our people, they're taking our money, and they're using it to fund the imperialist Democrats. They're using it to fund the imperialist Republicans. They're using it to fund whoever's going to give them money so they can pretend to go on strike for a day. And that's what they do. That's what they keep doing, because they make deals with the big businesses, and the big businesses make deals with them. So at this point, they don't even represent the workers anymore. At this point, the only people who represent the workers are the workers themselves. And that's what we here believe at the World Anti-Imperialist Platform. The workers are the real people of America. The workers are the people who are going to struggle for a free America. The workers are the people who, if they band together, can overthrow this imperialist, capitalist system of oppression and manifestation of imperialism that we call America. And you know what? I'm a patriotic American. I love America. I love the people of America. I love the people from Appalachia to the Ozarks. I don't even care. I love everyone, but you know who I don't love? The bankers. The goddamn bankers and the goddamn industrialists who take our money. And they are just doing it for nothing than corporate greed, because that's what it is. That's what capitalism is. It's industrialized greed. It's systematic greed. And we keep using it and we keep justifying it when there is no more justification anymore. We know it brings imperialism. Capitalism leads to imperialism, because once the expansion tries to happen in the United States, you reach a border and you realize you need to go farther. You realize you need to go to Israel. You realize you need to go to Europe, because your capitalist markets can't sustain themselves within the borders of the United States. We need to have a workers' struggle here in the United States. We need to have a workers' liberation movement here in the United States. We cannot have NATO dictate our military doctrine. We cannot have it at all. But you know what? NATO's going to keep dictating our military doctrine. NATO's going to keep dictating our imperialist tendencies unless we have a workers' struggle here in America. Unless the anti-imperialist forces of the world come together to destroy what we call America. Because what we call as America is not America. What we call as America is just some, bankers and elitists sitting together on top of each other in a trench coat, pretending to be Americans. They wear their red, white, and blue hats, and they pretend that they're the real United States patriotic citizens. But we know that that's not the case. They don't even look like us. They look like lizards. Look at their eyes. Look at their skin. Joe Biden's falling apart. He looks like a mummy. How can we even call him human? He's not human. The answer is, he's not. Joe Biden is just a shell of what a person used to be. Joe Biden is just an old, decrepit man who walked into the senior home someday and into the Oval Office. Joe Biden is nobody. In fact, if he could hear me right now, he probably wouldn't understand it. He probably doesn't even understand his own thoughts, if he has them. But you know what? We here at the World Anti-Imperialist Platform don't care about Joseph R. Biden. No, we don't. You know why? Because we know that he's just the face of an organization that we call the U.S. government that oppresses its people. We know that he's part of the organization that kills us, that dismembers us, that sends us in wars to die. How many people have died in the Middle East because of Mr. Biden's policies? How many people have died in Europe because of Mr. Biden's policies? Too many to count. You know what? In 2014, when the Ukrainian coup happened, since then, there have been over 15,000 deaths, civilian deaths, coming from the Ukrainian government. They killed 15,000 people in the Donbass before Russia even assisted the Donbass People's Militia in reconquering the Donbass, in reconquering the Donetsk People's Republic, in reconquering the Luhansk People's Republic, because we know that the Ukrainian government is a fascistic regime. And we keep supporting it. We keep supporting it because nobody knows. Nobody knows that the media is lying to us. Nobody knows that the media is faking all of this information, is manipulating all of this information so that they can indoctrinate us into this imperialist capitalist regime that we call America. This imperialist capitalist regime that we call imperialism. Because that's what it is. It is an expansion of the American empire. And the empire cannot expand anymore. The Roman Empire reached its limits, and you know what? Those limits weren't anywhere close to what America is today. The Roman Empire reached towards a little bit of Western Asia, reached a little bit towards North Africa, reached a little bit towards Europe. You know what? America is a continent-sized empire. A continent-sized empire that needs to be coming back to its original borders. A continent-sized empire that cannot be exploiting the people of Japan. A continent-sized empire that cannot be exploiting the people of Korea. A continent-sized empire that cannot be exploiting the people of Ukraine. Because we have no business in Ukraine. We have no business in Palestine. We have no business anywhere in the world except for America. That's where our tax dollars go. And our tax dollars go to the American government, and the American government should support the American people. It's a pretty simple system in thought, right? Pretty simple. I don't think that's a big ask for the government to support its people, right? No? Anyone? I'm glad to argue, but you know what? I don't think it's very right at all for our U.S. government to send hundreds of billions of tax dollars to a cocaine-addicted Ukrainian. Slava cocaine! That's what we should be screaming. Slava cocaine instead of Slava Ukraine. Zelensky, that's what he is. He's a cocaine-addicted Ukrainian who sends his own people to die. He conscripts them right up the street in Odessa, and he sends them to die. You know who's not dying? American troops. Because we don't want our American troops to die. We want the Ukrainians to die because we know that the Ukrainian people used to be part of the USSR. These are revolutionary people. These are people that could challenge the United States. We don't want them with Russia because we don't want Russia to challenge the United States. But Russia hasn't challenged the United States. Russia has said nothing to us. China has said nothing to us. We just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. We've got bases all over the world that we're paying for. Bases all over the world. From Africa to Asia to Europe. We've got bases everywhere. And you know what? The Russians and the Chinese are tired of it. And I'm tired of it too. And you know what? We should not be declaring Russia and China to be the enemies because they're not the enemies. They are other countries. The multipolar world is developing. America is not the unitary power it once was. And we're trying to cling on to that by using Europe to support us. The same Europe we fought against in the Revolutionary War. The same Europe that exploited the people of Africa. The same Europe that killed millions upon millions upon millions of African workers. The same Europe that enslaved half of the African continent and sent them to America without their consent. These people did not consent to come here, and yet they brought them over anyways. But you know what? Now we live with them. Now we live with them, and now we work with them. Now we agree with them because we have developed together into a country that we call America. And this America cannot be affiliated with the colonialist Europe. This America cannot be affiliated with the elitist Europe. America must get the hell out of Asia. America must get the hell out of Europe. America must get the hell out of dictating the lives of African people. You cannot have Eurocom dictating the lives of European people. You cannot have NATO. NATO, the North Atlantic terrorist organization, which is expanded to the global terrorist organization, cannot exist. It is an imperialist power which exploits the blacks of the world, which exploits the natives of the world, which exploits the Asians of the world. All it does is exploit, and it keeps exploiting because that's all it knows how to do. And the governments we've got in our pocket too. We've got these corrupt African countries in our pocket. We've got these corrupt European countries in our pocket. And you know what? Sometimes there are even disagreements. You know, we refused Ukraine entrance into NATO because they're too corrupt. Too corrupt. How is this possible? How are we sending billions upon billions upon billions upon hundreds of billions of dollars to this corrupt country that can't even go into NATO? You want to know why? It's because we just want them to die. We just want to use them as cannon fodder. We don't care about the Ukrainians. Nobody here even knew about Ukraine before the war. Half the people here still think Russia's communist. Half the people here still understand the world as if the United States is at war with the Middle East. We don't even kill terrorists anymore. We've become them. We have become the terrorists of the world. We become the terrorists in Europe. We become the terrorists in Africa. We become the terrorists in Asia. We need to get out. We need to stop being terrorists. We need to stop being imperialists. We need to stop trying to build this U.S. empire because the U.S. empire will never survive. The U.S. constitutional republic will survive. The U.S. people will survive, but the empire will crumble. And it will fall because every empire falls. Every empire crumbles. And the United States, led by Mr. Teetering Joe Biden, is not going to push us any farther towards success. In fact, he's going to, expand the degrowth policies in the Midwest, depaving roads, taking down industry, destroying factories, getting jobs pulled out of America, sending jobs to China, sending jobs to Canada, sending jobs to Mexico, because he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about you, he doesn't care about you, he doesn't care about either of you. None of you he doesn't care about. He doesn't care about none of you because he doesn't act like you, he doesn't look like you, he doesn't sound like you, he doesn't talk like you. He is sitting up there napping right now while we're out here sitting in the hot weather demonstrating. He's out there in his Oval Office munching on some ice cream while we're out here struggling in the heat. He's got air conditioning and we don't. Half the people in America don't have air conditioning. People in Florida right now are dying of heat stroke. People in New York are dying of heat stroke and he can't even afford to put air conditioning. $175 billion we're sending to Ukraine, and we can't even have air conditioning in our buildings. We can't even have people who are allowed to survive in the United States. We have homeless encampments everywhere in the city, in every city in America. We've got fentanyl running rampant through our inner cities. We got fentanyl running rampant in our suburbias. We are not able to confront our domestic problems because we're too concerned with the problems of Europe. We're too concerned with sending money to neo-Nazis in Ukraine. We're too concerned with sending money to imperialists. Because we think that we can ride this imperialist wave, that America can get more money, right? This money ain't going to you. Promise you this money ain't going to you. Promise you this money ain't going to you. This money is going to the military-industrial complex that's sitting right behind us. The military-industrial complex was warned about. Eisenhower told us. He said we must watch out. And yet we ignored him. Just like we've ignored everyone. Everyone who's ever spoken the truth we ignored. But you know what? Here today, we're going to speak the truth to power. We're going to speak the truth to power because we know that the only way that power can change is by being spoken to. The only way power can change is by the workers speaking to it. Power is not an institute that is concrete. Power changes every single day. And the workers are the main systemic organization of that power because the workers are the ones who create the value. The workers are the ones who are making the value for these corporations. Without the workers, there would be nothing. Without the workers, we would all be dying. Without the workers of America, we would be nothing but a third world, dirt poor country, just like every other country we imperialize. You know what? Our workers in America are strong. Our workers in America are smart. Our workers in America are fast. And I don't want to be sending our workers to die in global wars. I want to send our workers to factories. I want to send our workers to get jobs. I want to send our workers to defend our country. I don't want to send our workers to go die in Ukraine. I don't want to send Slavic workers to die in Ukraine. I don't want to send Chinese workers to die in Taiwan. I don't want to send anyone to die anywhere. The only thing we need here in America is better roads, better infrastructure, better education, better transportation, better everything. We're too busy sending money across the world. $800 billion we're sending around. Just spinning it around. You get $100 billion, you get $100 billion, you get $100 billion. Build 20 more jets, build 20 more tanks, build 1,000 more artillery guns. We don't even care at this point. We're just sending money around to build whatever the hell they want. Lockheed Martin's got us in their pocket, and they're in our pocket pulling our money out. They got $800 billion coming right to them. Right to it, and you don't think that they're going to let this go easy, do you? They're going to stop us at every possible measure because they know that they got us in our pocket. We are united because we are workers of America. We are Americans. We are not elitist Europeans. We are not these colonialists who we rebelled against. We are not them at all. We should not be defending Europe. We should be defending our borders. Millions of people come across our borders and we can't even defend it. And you know what? I'm here to stop it. I'm here to stop it because I believe in an America where workers have the power. I believe in an America where the elites who dominate our lives are out. I believe in an America where our tax dollars aren't being stolen from us by some elitist Europeans. Because I hate Europeans. I hate them with all my heart. I hate these bastards that walk around with their tight pants, coming into my town, coming into my cities, coming into my country, and lifting the money right out of my pockets. I hate them. I love the working Europeans. I love them. But you know what? They don't want to fight either. Working Europeans all around Europe want to struggle for peace, want to struggle for liberty, want to struggle for democracy. They're not struggling for a neo-Nazi regime in Ukraine. They're struggling for democracy in America. And you know what? If these people want freedom, they want to be free from Putin or whatever, let them come here. We're not stopping them. We got a great immigration process. We used to have Ellis Island rolling the Italians right into our shore. Ellis Island's gone now. We don't want strong immigrants. The only immigrants our government cares about is the immigrants that'll vote for whatever party's in power. That's it, folks. That's the truth. And I just said it to you right now. The only reason we care about immigrants in America is because they vote for whichever party is in power. The only reason we want immigrants in America is because we want cheap labor. That is not what immigrants are for. Immigrants are here to build. Immigrants are here to enjoy the freedoms we have. Immigrants are here to develop and construct and not destroy. But yet, we let anyone in. We let anyone in because we know that these people will vote for Joe Biden. And if Trump gets in power, he'll let in anyone who's going to vote for him. I don't care. I don't want them. I only want the immigrants who will come here to construct our country. I only want the immigrants who will come here to disband NATO, because NATO is a criminal terrorist organization, and I want immigrants who are against crime, immigrants who are against terrorism. The United States said that we declared a global war on terror. Well, you know what? We're here. We're the infantry. We're the artillery. We're the supporting tank divisions. We are the global war on terror because we hate NATO. We need to stop the RIMPAC exercises. We need to stop these U.S. occupying troops in Asia. We need to stop these U.S. occupying troops in Europe. Because we are Americans, we should be paying for American policy, not the policies of some elitist Europeans. I don't care about them. I know you don't care about them. And I know you don't care about them. These elitist Europeans come to our country. They demand hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions. And I'm here to take a stand against it. I hate them. I hate them. These NATO pricks that come walking right out. They're a bunch of European losers. That's what they are. They're European bandit losers. And they come right in and they grab our money and they walk right out. Just like that, the European bandit losers come right in. And you know what? I'm not here to stand for it. I'm an American, a patriotic American. And I hate my tax dollars going to fund foreign wars. I hate my tax dollars going to fund Ukraine. I don't like seeing the Ukrainian flag flying in my Congress. I don't like to see the Ukraine flag fly everywhere that I look. I remember seeing the American flag flying everywhere. I remember seeing the American flag flying high above every building. You know what? That's gone now. Because we've replaced it. Because we've been conquered by them, haven't we? We've been conquered by these elitist Europeans. We've been conquered by these people who call themselves victors of democracy. But you know what? I know that they're not victors of democracy. They are victors of fascism. They are victors of Nazism. They are victors of theft. Because they're really good at it. They stole everything from Africa. They stole everything from Asia. They stole everything from America. And you know what? They're trying to steal even more from America. They stole so much that we got people living in homeless shelters, not even able to support themselves. We got people pushing carts around with all their belongings, yet we can't even support them to get a house. We are struggling. America is struggling. The people are trying to become united, but the divisions of the bourgeois class are being pushed upon us. These bourgeois and petty bourgeois divisions of race, of ethnicity, of gender ideology. They're being pushed upon us so they can divide us and conquer us, because that's what they know how to do. They know how to carve up a turkey. They know how to carve it up real well. They know how to carve up a chicken. You know what, these elitist Europeans, I bet they're carving up quails. They're beautiful. They're beautiful at carving up anything they want. They carved up Africa, the Middle East, Asia. All these borders are European borders, not native borders. These are borders of thieves, borders of bandits. Because they know that when they carve up those borders, when they draw those straight lines right through the middle of ethnic communities, when they draw them right through deserts, right through towns, right through cities, right through forests, they can take everything they want. They can take everything they want because they divide. They can take everything they want because they know how to. They can take everything they want because they have the resources to take. Think about it. You come into a shop with a gun, you are gonna take their money. You walk into a shop with nothing, they won't give you anything. These Europeans, they're walking into America with guns. They're walking into America with their armies behind them. They're walking into America demanding hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. And America puts its hands right up in the air and says, no. Oh, okay, here you go, Zelensky. Here you go. I know you need your $400 billion more dollars for your cocaine addiction. I believe in you. Have it, take it. Steal it right from us. Steal it from the taxpayer. Steal from the hard-working American taxpayer who busts his ass every single day. But you know what? I don't support Zelensky at all. I don't support him one bit. Zelensky's a fascist criminal, just like the rest of them. Zelensky's a loser. He's a Ukrainian coke addict who's taking our money and spending it on who knows what. On the lives of Ukrainian citizens, on the lives of people who are stolen from their towns, stolen from their communities. Oh, he calls me a puppet. Look at him. Here, watch his strings dangle from his hair. Look at him. He's an old, decrepit man just like Biden. Oh, and we got the old, decrepit Bidens running this country, don't we? We got all the old geriatrics in the seat in your home coming around to yell at us. We got the old geriatric coming around. Look at him, he's coming, incoming, HIMARS missile, back to hit a Ukrainian hospital. There he is. He is responsible for the deaths of millions of Ukrainians. Look at him, old man. Come on. Oh, silver. Hey, cops, we got a silver alert right here. I don't think he knows where the hell he is. We got a silver alert running around our city. He has no idea who he is, what he stands for. He calls us Putin's puppet. He's his children's puppet. His children didn't pay for his senior home rent, so now he's running around here, making us a problem. Look at him, man. This guy has no idea what he's doing. He's just another arm of the European thieves. He's just another European thief coming right around because you know what? He wants more money in Ukraine. He wants more money because he knows that he needs to pay to inflate his bike tires. He knows that he likes to ride around on his little bike because he's an idiot. He knows that he's the one who's disobeying traffic laws. He knows that he's the one with his little bike helmet on, because if he hits his head, he knows that he'll rearrange his thoughts. He knows that he'll become an anti-imperialist. He knows that if he hits his head, it will become straight, right around the corner. Look at him taking these little curves. Look at him. Come on, man, keep talking. Call me another Putin puppet. Keep doing it. Come on, yeah, call me a Putin puppet. He knows that he's a puppet of the fascist leaders of America. He knows that he's a puppet of Biden. He's Biden's puppet. Biden can't even hold an ice cream cone, yet he's holding this guy in the palm of his hand. This guy is fighting for nothing. This guy is fighting for the upholding of his own stupid fascist liberal ideals. Look at this guy. I can't even look at his face. He's so ugly. But it's all right. Let him ride his bike away. Come on, man. Ride his bike away. At least he's not like one of those losers riding those motorized Lime bikes away. You know what? I respect him for that. But that only. Anyone who calls himself a Ukrainian patriot is a patriot of nothing but the idiot fascists who run that country. We here are Americans. We support America. We don't support sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Europe. We don't support sending hundreds of billions of dollars to foreign wars. We don't support sending hundreds of billions of dollars to idiots like the bicycle man who just drove by us. We are not him. We are not anything close to him. He is a loser, and Americans don't support losers. Americans are the victors. Americans are the people of the working class. We love America. I am an American patriot, and I support the ending of NATO, the disbanding of NATO, the disbanding of the imperialist entity that is becoming America. America should not be a colonial state. America fought against colonialism. America fought against the fascists. America fought against everything that is un-American. But now it seems with decrepit Joe up in the White House, he's not fighting for anything. He's fighting for his own pockets. He's fighting for his nap time. He's fighting for anything that he can to keep the American people silent. And he'll give us as many crumbs as we want in order for us to stay silent. Because we know, he knows rather, that if we stay silent, then he can keep doing whatever the hell he wants. He can keep spending whatever hundreds of billions of dollars are going to Ukraine. He can keep spending whatever the hell he thinks he wants because he thinks that the American citizens are for it. You know what? I'm taking a stand. I'm saying that the American citizens are not for it. The American citizens are for the restructuring of American society. The Americans are for a rebuilding of America. The Americans are for the rehabilitation of our transportation system. The Americans are for active police who stop crime, not criminalize innocent people. What we do here is we fight against imperialism. What we do here is we fight for better America. What he do here is we talk to the people because we know that the people are the only ones who have the power to change anything. Joe Biden's got nothing. He's got nothing. He's just an old, decrepit man who's using the system of America against us. And you know what? I'm not here for it. I'm here for the rebuilding of America. I'm here for the building of our transportation. I'm here for the funding of our schools. I'm here for the funding of the proletariat class. I'm not here to line the elitists' pockets. I'm not here to fund Ukrainian war. I'm not here to fund war anywhere in the world except to defend America's borders. America was built with a military to defend itself, not to imperialize, not to empiricize. What we are doing here is nothing short of un-American. NATO is an un-American global terrorist organization that seeks to do nothing except try to stop American ideals from flourishing in America. American ideals are trying to flourish. People every day are trying to work hard. But every time they do work hard, every time an iota of effort is put into their job, every time an iota of strength is put into whatever they do, it just gets stolen right back from them. The IRS coming right in and lifting our pockets up and taking it so they can send it on a paper airplane right over to Ukraine. We aren't here for it. We hate it. We hate it so much, in fact, that the people of America who are standing for it, you know what? I'll say it right now, they're traitors. They're traitors. Benedict Arnolds, loyalists. They are families of the British colonial empire. They are not Americans. We need to get the troops out of Japan. We need to get the troops out of Korea. And we need to disband NATO. Disband NATO!
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 We stand here in the belly of imperialism monster, namely Washington DC in the USA, where the NATO Summit is going on. NATO from its birth, which being the killing machine, the bombing machine, and the war machine. Also which being the most loyal servant to the US empire. Now NATO is trying to continue the war in Ukraine, so that to expand the war to Eastern Europe, and now it's trying to expand its reign to Asia, so that to provoke wars in Taiwan and South Korea, through the Asia version of NATO. Now it's trying to spread the flames of war to all our countries, our entire continent, and our whole planet. But we are never scared of the war. We are never frustrated by the war, because we clearly know who prepared these wars for such a long time and who has decisively provoked this conflict. In our history, there have been always two sides. One is unjust forces, and the other is just forces. The war in Ukraine is an anti-imperialist, anti-fascist war in which Russia fights against NATO imperialism and its proxy forces, Zelensky fascist gangs. The war in West Asia is an anti-imperialist, anti-Zionist war against imperialism and Zionism, and a liberation war to liberate the Palestinian people. Like the people of Korea in 1950s, like the people of the Vietnam in 1960s, and today, like us here standing with the people of Ukraine and Palestine, we have been fighting against imperialist aggressors over the years, and we continue our righteous struggle against them. Now the imperialist system is at the edge of the cliff, and the ruler of the system, the US imperialism, is also back in the corner. First, when we talk about their military weakness in Ukraine today, despite NATO having spent a decade creating huge and multiple lines of the fortifications in preparation for confrontations with Russia, and despite having built up the Ukrainian army into what was essentially NATO's largest fighting force, the Western Alliance is being decisively beaten. In Palestine, despite its backing by NATO, bombers and aircraft carriers, and despite being reoccupied daily with arms supplies from the West, the Zionists are being decisively beaten on every front of the war. Second, when it comes to economy, during the war in Ukraine, NATO imperialists tried to destroy the Russia's economy with the sanctions war, but it was ended up by strengthening Russia's economy and further damaging their own. As a result, the economic crisis in the imperialist countries has only been deeper. Energy prices and inflation is rising quickly. European industry is struggling, and the cost of living for ordinary workers is going up a lot. As all we are witnessing, this imperialist system, nothing more than parasite, is falling. They are desperately seeking to provoking the world to escape their political economic crisis. But as we can see, it's falling. Even the more wars imperialists are trying to wage, we will never stop our struggle to defeat them. And in the end, we will bring about the collapse of this rotten system. Anti-imperialist forces of the world, let us unite it. And let us continue moving forward until the day of victory. Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Stop rampant exercise!
Stop, stop, stop!
Stop rampant exercise!
Stop, stop, stop!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Stop rampant exercise!
Stop, stop, stop!
Stop rampant exercise!
Stop, stop, stop!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Stop rampant exercise!
Stop, stop, stop!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Free, free Palestine!